Hi, Confusion. Thank you so much for writing into my column, MP4 Love, here on Blast Magazine. So I have to admit that I have changed my mind a little bit about this one over the years. Given that the dating world has been changing a lot in recent times, it's not necessarily the job of the guys anymore to do everything in the courtship process, from the approach to asking for the number, to then calling, to planning the dates, to paying for all of the dates. And I think increasingly, women don't really want to be passive bystanders when it comes to meeting people, when it comes to meeting men for relationships. They want to take part, at least a little bit, an active part in that sort of courtship process when you're first getting the beginning of the dating stages. Now, I will also admit that at almost 35, I'm a little bit more partial to the more traditional approach of taking the back seat during the beginning phases of dating. So I tend to like having the guy approach me and pursue me a little bit and sitting back a bit. But that doesn't mean that the way of doing things is the right way for everyone. And especially for younger generations of men and women, where they're sort of, they feel they're sort of on an equal playing field. And it shouldn't have necessarily be one gender doing all of the pursuing, all of the calling, all of the paying, right? Okay, now I once read a book titled Getting to I Do by Dr. Pat Allen. She says women should never approach a man if you want to have the feminine energy in a relationship. And she says, always leave the approach to a man if you want a mate who displays masculine energy. Because if you approach a man first who you're interested in romantically, then the energy is already screwed up from the beginning. So she says to essentially use your feminine wiles, your smile, the way you're dressed, your pretty looks, to get him to come up to you. And listen, Dr. Pat Allen is a pioneer in the arena of relationship advice. And while I think she makes some timeless points regarding female-male energies, I do think that some of her points in the year 2012 are a little bit outdated, a little bit antiquated. So if you're the type of woman that wants to go up to a cute guy you see at a bar or coffee shop or wherever, and say hello, just an innocent little hello, and introduce yourself, then I say go for it. Not to mention that every time I have asked a male friend or a male acquaintance if they like it when a girl or a woman approaches them first, they say, I love it. It's amazing. They should do it more often. So just don't be too drunk or overbearing when you do it, okay, ladies? And listen, if he's going to be turned off by you going up to him, if he thinks that's too forward, then he's not the personality type for you anyway, okay? Now you've gone up, you've said hello, you've introduced yourself. What next? That's the big question. Should you take what's traditionally been the man's role and call him, get the digits, call him, plan the dates? Well, that's definitely a great question, and it's a question for another day. So I will, instead of answering a reader's question next week, I will answer that question in my column next week. And in the meantime, Blast readers, what do you think about Confusion's question? Do you think it's perfectly acceptable for a woman to go up to a guy and introduce herself? And she'd be very interested to hear your perspectives, I'm sure. And if you have your own dating or relationship questions for me, please send them to Neely at blastmagazine.com. Until next time.